Welcome to MMA, the best MMA show around the world. Mighty Devin Debo Taylor.
Say it.
You're the champ. You got to retain the champion. Debo's under the weather today. He's not feeling too good.
I got the Barry White for the ladies out there. You know what I mean? I drop it down a notch, a note or two, a little drop down an octave.
Exactly.
I drop the voice down so the ladies drop it down. You know what I'm saying?
All right, real quick, let's just get right into it. I got my little note right here so I can read it properly. The winners of the Mama's Boy apparel shirts.
Please be me. Please be me.
We do it straight random. So it is. These are the Twitter handles because I don't even know these people's names.
Devin Debo Taylor.
At Red Ketchup is the first one. And that's
ketchup.
Red is, the ketchup is with a 3 instead of an E. Red Ketchup with 3. So anyways, Red Ketchup. And at Cubby Bear 2010.
No, that's K3. That's 3 Ks. That's KKK. I don't even...
No. Ooh.
See, you guys to think about it. I see you ketchup.
Anyways, you guys get the Mom Boys apparel shirts. Nice, huh?
Man, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
He's not happy for you because he's a
I'm
hater,
always happy.
but I'm happy for you.
I had enough hate yesterday when I woke up in the morning.
You guys are champs. You won the contest. I'm a champ. So, it's like a champ-to-champ thing. You wouldn't know about it.
Actually,
don't even worry about it.
Let's talk about some hate. Your boy, Fedor Emelianenko, talking about how women should not be fighting MMA.
He's Russian, and it's a different culture. It's a different type of people.
Russian women will kick your ace.
Yes, that's why he doesn't want them in MMA, because he knows the beatings his mom used to put on him. Yeah. He's like, my mother, she would kill me if she ever fought me. It was all
that's
bad.
That's good Russian.
I do a good Russian accent. It's nice.
You know what the thing I see with the conflict here, Scott Coker, arguably the pioneer of women's MMA, and now Fedor is in Bellator. Scott Coker being head of Bellator, and then him saying that, and then it comes out, and it's like, I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe this is why no one else has really let Fedor talk too much. Because, it's not maybe the most politically correct thing to say that in my country, women, they stay in the kitchen and they cook for us. We don't let them into the streets with the men and in the mingling. It's all bad. Like, can we...
This is a whole new thing. I didn't know he had the... I do good, I'm actually part Russian.
I do the Russian impression. I learned it from the bear, and we fight, and we learn.
Alrighty then. So anyways... That's
a shout-out. My boy knows where I got that from. I'll have to put him on.
Well, no fights this past weekend. Bellator, World Series of Fighting, Invicta. We still have at least 1 to 2 to 3 weeks out before any of those are back on tap. Not a ton in the rumor mill. Actually, your boy Ian McCall, dude. What's up with that knucklehead?
In my country, we say he's a douchebag. He's not the good guy. The bear has evil influence on him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Bad. No, I think he's going the Chael Sonnen route. He's trying to talk a little ish. We're talking about him.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't be talking about Ian McCall. He used to be a big deal. He's lost a couple of fights. He's winning a couple of fights lately, but he isn't as relevant as he used to be, and he's probably feeling that.
Yeah. Well, back then he was like the only 125-pounder.
Yeah, he was over at the Tai Chi Palace
Tai Chi Palace, yeah.
And was killing it, but wasn't really fighting. All the really good killers were fighting up in weight to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
When you talk about Demetrius Johnson and John Dodson.
Yep.
So, now he's, getting beat up.
Uncle Creepy's not happy.
Yeah, Uncle Creepy's just Uncle Jerk.
Yeah, pretty much. He's Uncle DB as in douchebag. Anyways, let's just get right into it. We can I can name this episode UFC 185 review, and it will be legitimately that, because we're pretty much just going to talk about UFC 185.
That seems like a pretty good name. Or you can name it Champ Debo's Beatdown.
Well, I want to get view. Wait. You're like, you want Bully Beatdown and have like Mayhem come in?
Dude, you bring Mayhem in, that's fine.
Ooh. Speaking of which, they got
I think I could take Mayhem.
Did you see that video?
At this point, I think I could take Mayhem.
There's this video on YouTube or whatever going
Throw some
around
crack
viral.
in that corner, and he's like, "Ooh!" And then I just hit him with the chair.
He's at the corporate office or the R&D office of this video game facility, and they're showing the video game, like the prototype, and they get to his profile, and it has like the fighters ranking, and it's hella low, and he flips out, dude. He's like, "Who did this?" And like everyone's kind of pointing at this dude, like. But it was set up, but it was pretty funny because you can see Mayhem really freaking out like that. So I thought it was real until the laughter at the end. I thought he was really about to kill, dude.
Well, I mean, he seems like one of those guys a little out of touch with reality. Like, what do you mean I'm not #1 in the world? Like, yeah, dude, you lost a lot of fights.
You know, the funny thing about that, though, is when he was in Japan fighting in Dream and the other promotions, he had a lot of fans in Japan. The Mayhem Monkeys.
Yeah, I mean, when he was in Pride, I mean, he's an entertaining fighter. You know, he has a very entertaining style. He goes in there, looks to either finish or, you know, put on a great fight. So, you know, over in Japan, they really appreciate that. Here in America, kind of prefer winners over
over attempts.
Like, hey, you lost in a great fight, but you lost.
Yeah, I think they had so much buildup around that and his fan base and everything, and then going into the Ultimate Fighter, and then that fight with him and Bisbane was just horrendous, and it was bad.
It was not a good. I mean, he had talked so much smack, and I think it's actually for a lot of those Ultimate Fighter coaches. You see him talk a lot of trash, and then you see who's a good coach or not, and then you see them get into the actual fight where it's like, dude, you were talking a lot of smack, and then he put it on you and beat you senseless. It makes you look really bad for some of those guys.
Yeah. Huh? It happens.
I think it would be like if we did an Ultimate Fighter. People would see that you are a tool, and then they would see me beat the stuff.
No, usually it's the tools that end up winning, isn't it?
No.
Oh, then you'd be the tool then.
No.
Flip it.
No, that's not how it would go.
All right, anyway, let's just jump into it. This Saturday we have UFC 185 out of Dallas, Texas. There's a ton of fights on this card. It's what we would call stacked, I guess.
I mean, it's tough. I feel like, you know, we use that a lot. We got to start, you know, keeping it as reserving it for
special occasions.
But
I mean, considering the fight cards that we've had in the past 12 months, this is about as stacked as it's been, really. I mean, is it UFC 100? No, but it's a pretty damn good card.
I mean, personally, if Cerrone's not on it, it's not stacked. Because somehow Cerrone's always just like the bonus.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a good card. Throw Cerrone on there. Great card.
Yeah.
So it's not one that Cerrone's on, which is odd because he fights every 2 weeks.
Well, he's coming up in May.
Yeah, so...
Which is another great card, by the way.
See? Oh, it's stacked. Another stacked
What is up
card.
with it's right now, it's the odd number UFC numbers. Like 85, 87, 89. Those are good. And then the evens are kind of flying under the radar, if you would. Not as good. So this weekend, 85, great card. 87 is a great card. You got 2 title fights.
Is this your newest conspiracy?
No, I just thought of this right now.
They have conspiracy against even numbers. This is very fishy. I don't like.
You been drinking Fanta?
Right.
You don't even want to have that sponsorship anymore?
If you're curious, Purple Fanta, but see, I was never Purple Fanta. I was Purple Crush.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, Crush is good.
It's your
Purple Fanta. You can look it up. Purple Fanta, I see you. I see what you're doing, okay? Coming for you.
See, what it was your earthy skin tones that was making me think of Fanta opposed to Crush.
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
It's all right, because I don't either.
No, that's okay. Look up the history of Fanta if you're curious, and hopefully you won't drink Fanta anymore.
All right, so anyways, UFC 185. We've got, obviously, Anthony Pettis versus RDA, which we'll get to last, but main event.
Okay.
And then, starting at the bottom, you got Junior.
Starting at the bottom now. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No?
Sergio Pettis, he's on the card.
So, there's another Pettis?
There's another. This is conspiracy. Ooh. You got a lot of Duke Rufus fighters on the card.
Okay.
Are we going to see a little CM Punk on the? You know?
I mean, he's gonna be cage side. You gotta know that.
He's got to be cage side. Maybe he's in the corner. He's a corner man.
I hope he's not a corner man. If he's your corner man, he don't know nothing. I don't know what he's telling you.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey.
Oh, okay, let me rephrase.
Hit him with the suplex, and then I'll throw you to the chair. I got you. Like
not corner man, but walkout entourage. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, not actually like in there.
I don't want him giving me advice like, yo, dude, make sure you keep your shoulders off. Don't let him pin you, bro. Don't let him pin you.
You never know. Maybe he throws in the DDT. Little Jake the Snake.
I mean, if he wants to jump off the top of the octagon and help out.
Hey, if anyone would do it, it's Anthony Pettis.
Like, yo, Anthony, tag me in real quick. I'm going to hit him with...
Our boy, Darren Cruikshank, he's on that fight card. And,
Hourglass, my boy.
That's your boy?
No, that's our boy.
That's our boy. And I already put in the request last week. He saw it. He liked it. He's a fan. I said, I'm putting in the request. Jumping, spinning, roundhouse kick, knockout.
Wow, that's lots of requests.
That's a big request.
Like, hey, when you see him get dizzy, like, back up, and, like, when the finish him comes on, like, and he looks through the camera, and he's like, yo, Mighty, I got you.
Some straight Jean-Claude Van Damme or something. Dude. That'd be sick, though.
And then Big John's like, fatality.
But does he get to do it? Does he like do the Kano or something? Pull out the heart or the Sub-Zero?
No, dude, too far.
Sorry.
Too far.
Dude, you're throwing out some Mortal Kombat stuff.
Hit him with the KO and that's it.
I'm getting excited over here.
No, we're not actually ripping out people's...
He could do a friendship. You know, pull out the flowers, maybe a gift.
It's still an octagon fight, man. It's still there.
Dude, we got wrestlers coming in here now. Why don't we throw a little something crazy in there?
You see how he just ruins everything? There was like a going back. Oh, yeah, you should do this. And then we did friendship and give him flowers.
I'm just saying.
There's a reason why I am the champ over here.
That's because there was no fights this past weekend. That's why.
That's another reason, but that's beside the point.
Gosh. Anyways,
so Sergio Pettis is fighting, and yep. Well, this is kind of what they're getting to. It's the next Ultimate Fighter, right? Is they're actually going to camp versus camp.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Black Zillions against American Top Team.
I've seen them kind of do it a little bit more common. Typically, it's wherever they're close to. That camp is there, and they just pull a bunch of those fighters.
Yeah.
So now they've actually got camp versus camp.
That's legit. I like that idea.
Which actually goes all the way back to what, Lion's Den? I think way back in the day, Shamrock's gym had rivalries with a couple other different gyms, and they would do a couple of different fighters against each other. It's pretty cool stuff. I like it. I think it's
bragging rights.
Bragging rights. You got a little bit more of like a team versus team sort of thing.
And then you would think, we would think as a community or whatever fight.
Maybe just I would think.
Maybe there'll be less drama in the house. More drama.
Yeah, maybe less drama if you've got guys who've been training together.
We would hope. I personally, let me just say this right now. I don't know if I've said this before on our show.
Are you a purist?
I'm a purist, but that's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
I hate reality TV. I cannot stand reality TV.
I hate reality with you.
Well, that's a very valid point. It's a very valid point. There's a rule in my house. Reality TV is not on when I'm home. Oh. I don't care who's over. Mama, if you're watching reality TV in the house, turn it off or get out. That's all I'm saying.
See, my mama would knock me out. She watches reality TV.
Now, the exception, Ultimate Fighter, because it's fighting. But honestly, 80% of the time, I fast forward through it just to the fights.
You go straight to the fights?
I don't want to see that stuff, dude. I don't care. And that's why...
You fast forward to the finish?
Right to the finish.
Oh, man.
You know, that's why I like... There's a couple of seasons that had just... The coaches were just very respectful to one another. Not a whole bunch of this and that. I mean, you have some seasons like Rampage against Rashad.
Dude, Rampage.
That was a good season. That was a good season.
Some good drama. That was real drama. You can tell. He's ripping the door off, and he's just losing his mind, man. That was...
But, like, the Koscheck GSP one...
Head games, man.
The Koscheck GSP one.
GSP's weird alone, and then his trainers are weird, and the one dude who's got like just two little hairs and he's like that.
All right, we're getting way off track here. So, anyways,
that's your fault.
It is my fault. UFC 185 this weekend Saturday. Let's just start from the bottom, work our way up the card. Big Country versus Overeem.
I want to take Big Country, but this is tough. I mean, Overeem, I've seen him be a monster before. He's got like 2 minutes of monster in him.
2 minutes. And that's it.
And that's it. He's the, like I think I said it before, he's the mighty of MMA.
Well, look, I think he's only had 6 fights in the UFC. 3, he's got knocked out. And that was Travis Brown. He got knocked out by Bigfoot Silva. And he got knocked out by, who else did he get knocked out by?
I'm trying to think.
He got knocked out by someone. But the only guys he's beat is a hurt Brock Lesnar when he was sick. Kicks him in the belly, right?
Yeah, that was bad.
He beats Frank Mir.
Yeah, which is a
And he beat Stefan Struve, who had a bad heart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like...
I haven't seen a lot from him.
I mean, he was great when he was fighting over in Japan, but since he's been over in the UFC and now off TRT, or whatever he was taking...
Horse tranquilizer. I mean, he's feeling his weight as well. He's coming back down and getting smaller and trying to say, oh, I'm doing it to get faster. And you're like, nah, dude, you're just not on juice all the time.
Yeah, that's like Belfort saying, I feel way better off of TRT. Yeah, sure you do. So anyways, you want to marinate on that for a second?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Nelson, but let me think about it.
Okay, so let's go then. The next fight on the list for that, Matt Brown versus Johnny Hendricks.
This one is, what they call this, a barn burner. Because both of them look like they were raised in a barn. And they would burn it down.
Yes.
I didn't think this.
You don't think that through now. No.
Okay.
This is the thing. This type of fight looks great on paper, but is it going to be as good as expected, or is it going to be one of those fights that they void each other out?
I don't know, because, I mean, Hendricks he's fallen in love with striking a lot lately. His hands have got a lot more crisp and a lot better, but I think he takes this fight easy if he wants to just wrestle.
Yeah.
But when was the last time we saw him do that?
I know, I haven't. The only time he does it is when he's gassing out or he's trying to solidify the win for the round. You know, if it's a close round, well, let me get the takedown so I can get that score.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the Lawler fights, you know, right at the end, in the championship rounds, he's tired, then he's going for takedowns. So, you know, I don't think he wants to stand with Matt Brown. It's not the smart game plan. For me, Matt Brown is like, I mean, they call him, what, the Immortal?
Yeah.
I mean, you hit him and you don't care.
And the thing is most of his, almost all of Matt Brown's losses are by submission. Johnny Hendricks only has 1 submission in his whole career, and that was like way in the beginning, back in like his 2nd or 3rd fight. So I don't think that's going to be any type of issue. So if they stand and bang, I think it's a much closer fight if they stand and bang. But if Johnny's smart, he pushes pride aside and he wrestles Matt. And even if he wrestles out a dirty win, the one thing though that you have to put in perspective, Johnny Hendricks is a completely different fighter in a 3-round fight than he is a 5-round fight.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a lot better in a 3-round fight. I mean, I'm gonna take Hendricks. I think he's got the larger toolbox. He has more ways to win. He still has a huge overhand. He can put Matt Brown to sleep, but it's not the smart way to do it.
Yeah, I would like to see the upset, but I will take Hendricks as well.
But, you know, hop on the coattails.
I will. Go ahead. So next fight after that, co-main event, Carla Esparza against Johan. I'm not going to try it. Chris Toplak's pretty good at pronouncing it. I ain't going to try it. It's J-D and some consonants after that.
Get a diet. Got you. Carla is a monster.
Is she, you know what? I know Joanna is undefeated. I want to say 8-0, but Carla has already beaten the who's who in the strawweight division.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anyone stopping Carla until maybe she loses focus. So, I mean, I don't think that's yet. I mean, I think, you know, Anderson Silva went like 6 years, something like that. So, you know, maybe in a couple years.
Yeah, I would definitely take Carla by submission.
Yeah, I mean, she's a monster.
Yeah. You going to go by submission too?
I'm going to go by rear naked choke.
Wow, you're going to pick out the specific one? All right. All right, you want to go back to that first one, or you want to go to the main event?
Let's go to the main event.
Main event, here we go. Anthony Showtime Pettis against RDA. Rafael or Rafael? How do you pronounce that? Rafael dos Anjos.
Yes.
Because it's Brazilian.
It's Brazilian, so it's a hard J. Wow, this one. You know, and this...
I know.
Pulling on the heartstrings right here. Debo's got a heart. It's small.
it's like the Grinch's.
It's deep down there.
2.5 times
It's frozen, but you can be thawed with an RDA fight. Yeah. I love RDA. I've met him in person a couple of times. shaking his hand. He's a great guy. I want him to win. I'm just not going to put my belt on. Okay, that's who I am these days. I gotta get back. I can't let this guy win.
I'm taking that belt back, baby.
I want RDA to win this, but I'm just not putting my belt on it. I'm gonna take Pettis.
Okay, so with that being said, initially I thought this fight was much closer. I started doing a little more research. I truly feel that Pettis, and here's the funny thing about this. Both of these guys have lost to Clay Guida, which is absurd. Absurd. They have lost to the ultimate gatekeeper.
It really is bad.
And that's what threw Pettis' whole title shot off, because he comes over from WEC. He was already the champ. He was supposed to come right in. Jose gets hurt. That's what it was. Yeah, because Jose had the title, right? No. Is that who he was going to fight? Who had the title? No. No. It's because Edgar and Maynard. It was Edgar. And he was supposed to fight whoever won, but since it was a draw, they did the rematch.
Okay.
Right? So he ended up saying, I don't want to sit on the shelf. Let me fight. He fights Clay Guida. He loses, gets pushed to the back of the freaking
no
bus.
one likes Clay Guida, man. He wrestled him for 3 rounds. It was painful.
With the hair. Anyways.
That was a very good impersonation, by the way. I can do my shit and you do Clay Guida.
You know, most of RDA's wins, other than like the Benson and a couple others, most of them were a decision. You're not going to outscore Pettis. And honestly, I'm going to go on the limb. I take Pettis by submission. I've been looking at the people he's fought and the people he has submitted, and it's unreal. And I have to go with Pettis. I'm going back-to-back submissions. Carlos Esparza wins by submission. Anthony Pettis wins by submission.
I can't take him by submission. RDA, if he gets knocked unconscious, he still gets out of the submission.
Yeah.
I think while unconscious, he's not tapping. He's pulling off the rear naked choke. I can't see him losing by submission. I think he can get definitely knocked out.
Well, see, that's the thing with Pettis.
I mean, that's what Pettis does. He kind of cracks you, and then he goes
exactly.
For the choke. Ah, man, RDA's jiu-jitsu is high level, though, man.
So is Pettis's, though.
Pettis isn't that.
I think it's very underrated.
It's underrated. He doesn't have the pedigree. I think he has a good jiu-jitsu game. He's not a pure jiu-jitsu fighter.
Absolutely.
Like the way that RDA is. And I think he just, like I said, I think he catches guys first. And then it's real easy if a guy's knocked out and he's just rolling there. You're like, oh, let me sink this in real quick. And you put him to sleep.
Fair enough. But
I mean,
in any case, you're taking Pettis.
I take Pettis. I think he probably goes for a KO if he gets it.
Okay. Then let's go back to the one we're talking about first. Big Country, Overeem. Who do you got? This is kind of a coin flip.
I think this is a coin flip, and this is going to be painful because if Overeem wins, it's going to piss me off. But I'll take Mullet all day. I'll take the Mullet.
God, I was hoping you took Overeem. I really wanted you to take Overeem.
You know, he's a hard guy to trust. You know, because
he let me down last time. See, this is why I'm pissed. Because last time I took Big Country, I picked him and I lost. That was against Mark Hunt.
You should not have taken him against Mark Hunt.
I know.
But it's tough because this is a very similar fight.
I got to take Overeem. It's either I take Overeem or I switch my Hendricks bet because I'm not taking RDA and I'm not taking Johanna. I'm sorry, guys, but I can't.
I wanted you to take RDA, man.
I know you did. I can't.
I would be happy to give you the belt if RDA won.
You know, I would like, I was thinking about that. I thought that was going to be the fight I was going to put the belt again or, try to go. And then I just started looking at it. I'm like, on paper, it's a bad fight for him. On paper, it's a bad fight for him.
On paper, in the fight,
yeah.
Not on paper, on film, in the movie. Like, it's just a bad. Pettis I think he's going to be there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
I can agree.
Maybe RDA wrestles him and has the jiu-jitsu to not get caught something.
Now, this is bad because now I'm taking all the same picks that Toplack picked, and I told him that one was different because I was going to not take Overeem, but I thought for sure you would take Overeem. God. Do I roll the dice with Overeem or do I take Matt Brown?
This is tough because, you know what, when you talked about that Hunt versus Roy Nelson.
I know. I felt so good about it, too. I felt so good about it. And it was wrong. All right, I'm going to take Overeem. I think he has to prove himself.
He's got no more TRT. He's got nothing.
I have to take
the mullet is strong. That strong mullet.
Damn it! I want the belt back. Yeah. I want the belt back. I gotta go with Overeem. I think that's a smart choice.
Roy Nelson, you and your mullet better not let me down. Stop eating them donuts, cut some pounds, and train.
Thank you so much for watching tonight. Devin Demo Taylor, the champion. Just this week, I'm coming back. That's coming over here. That's coming over here. That's coming over here.
5-3, I'm coming back.
Mighty. Have a great night.